This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And here we are, folks, on January the 25th, 2023. And I have a return guest coming on the show. And he's involved in movies, he's an author, and he's involved in wrestling. Folks, I give you the awesome Ronnie Angel. How do you do, Ronnie?
Yo, I am doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on here again. Sorry that I'm driving right now, so the picture might not be that great, but it's the best I can do right now.
I'm actually very amused. This is a first. Ira Hayden was driving when I had him on audio back a few years ago when I had him on, but.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yep.
The Wizard Master.
Yep, that's right. I had him on again on Zoom last year, so there you go. He might get inspired by this one.
yeah, man. I saw your message too that you've been in some movies with James Balsamo, the guy that I worked with just recently.
Oh yeah, I do. I've been involved in 9 movies of his, and I've only seen 3 of them.
Oh man, when it comes to my movies, I've only seen a handful of them, honestly. But I definitely need to watch more of the stuff that I've done. It's hard too, though, because we're our worst critics, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with me. I think the best thing that I've seen that I've done with James Balsamo was I appeared twice in It Wants Blood on a television being seen by Eric Roberts, and I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I got to get killed by the Black Power Ranger when I worked for James.
Yeah,
I gotta say that was like the most fun I've ever had on a set. James has a really cool atmosphere, just a lot of fun every time he films.
So what movie did you do with him?
Dead Male. And I think that they're still filming different parts of it right now. Hopefully we get to see it soon.
Jeepers, he's shooting in like 25 movies at once.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of other people do that before too. There's another guy that I really love working for. It's Dustin Ferguson, and he's literally had me film parts for like 3 different movies on the same day.
Yeah, I remember Fang 2, or no, Rattler 2, excuse me.
Yeah, Rattlers 2. Yeah, Rattlers 2, Zombie 8, Grave of the Living Dead, Hell of the Screaming Undead. Just a lot of them. I mean, anytime I'm on a set, I'm having fun.
So did your tattoos hurt?
My tattoos?
Nice.
The only one that hurt was when it was on my elbow, and that was like excruciating pain. The best advice I could give to anybody is just keep looking at the wall. Find something to occupy your mind, read, do whatever, just get through it.
Well, that pain that you had in your elbow is nothing compared to the pain you're going to have when the Iron Sheik puts you in the camel clutch and makes you humble.
I don't think he'll be doing anything like that anytime soon.
Oh, yes, he will. He's right here right now. Yeah.
He's actually in a wheelchair right now, from what I've heard.
Yeah, but
I watched his, I was going to say, I watched his documentary too. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's very interesting.
He's not in a wheelchair. He's right here.
Oh, I didn't see that at first.
He's going to put you in the camel clutch. He'll make you humble.
Well, I might have to put myself in there. be like the old Stu Hart thing that I've heard about how basically you have to put yourself in the hold, and then it'll cinch in.
There you go. There you go.
And I am stuck in traffic right now.
What are you doing that for? You see that? See,
Um,
the Iron Sheik would never be stuck in traffic.
I don't know if he has like a magic carpet or something. I would like to fly that sucker too.
Well, the Iron Sheik would just roll his window down and give them for what?
And so, yeah.
So how often do you wrestle?
Um, as much as I can. I'm actually slowing down my wrestling career right now. Just because of the point, I've been doing it so many years, and I've got my third book out there now. I'm working on the fourth one, getting more acting gigs. So it'll kind of push the wrestling a little bit back, but I'll still wrestle, on different shows when I can. I have one coming up next weekend out by San Diego, and I will also have one coming up in Temecula the weekend after that. And so far I've got one booked for March too, but yeah, I'll take the bookings when I can, and I'm always super grateful for anybody that has me on their show.
Slowing down. It sounds to me like you're secretly turning down a match with the Iron Sheik.
Could be.
I've had a few wrestling personalities on here. I did tribute on to Roddy Piper with his daughter Teal and Colt, and I had Teal Piper on here a couple times. I had Jerry Swirls on here. I've had Larry Zbyszko, and I've
Oh,
had
nice.
Princess Victoria's been on here 3 times. Yeah.
Wow.
What's the biggest name? Oh, I had James Ellsworth on here as well.
Oh,
So
cool.
who's the biggest name you've wrestled?
I've wrestled.
Yep.
I've been on shows with a lot of different people, a lot of big names, but a lot of times I don't actually wrestle them. Usually other people do, but I've still shared the locker room with a lot of cool big names. For the majority are very cool. And I mean, I have wrestled Norman Smiley one time, and I wrestled Shark Boy, and actually the late Daphne. I wrestled them in 2006, I believe, and one of the matches was a tag match, a triple threat tag match. Shark Boy and Shark Girl were in one corner, and Ivory was the guest referee. And it's really funny because I think Shark Boy was the one who gave me a DDT, and I just spiked myself and had my feet straight up in the air and everything. I was fine. I just got my hands up, but I just remember Ivory kneeling down next to me, and she just said, "Oh, that's gotta hurt." Good times.
Ivory,
And
nice.
Disco. I've teamed with Disco before. Disco Inferno.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the biggest ones that I've shared the ring with, but I've shared the locker room with many names over the years. Like Demolition, Tommy Dreamer, Honky Tonk Man, Jake the Snake, like you name it. So
What
many.
was Jake the Snake like?
I liked him. I really did. He's a fun dude to hang out with, but I know that not everybody shares those same sentiments. some of the other people didn't like him too well, but he was, you know, in the throes of addiction at the time, so that could have something to do with it. But I thought he was cool, and
Did he
he's a
DDT
great
and put the
compliment.
snake on you?
He did get to kick my ass.
There you
And
go.
it was funny because after the show, he was going around the table to all of us guys, and he was pointing out what different guys did wrong in their match. He made this big story about like King Kong Bundy, building him up for months and months and months, and then when he made his debut wrestling, he just blew it, and it didn't go well. It was one of the territories, but he looked at my tag partner and he says, "You were Bundy tonight." So, but it was funny because he pointed at me and then he said, "As for you, you sucked awesomely tonight. Good job, kid." I was just like, wow, got a compliment from Jake the Snake. That's pretty cool.
Did the honky tonk man blast you with a guitar and hit you with the shake, rattle, roll?
You know what? He doesn't hit anybody with guitar. Yeah, several years ago, like got himself cut really bad. So he'll pretty much tell whoever, like, yeah, you guys could do that spot if you want, but I'm not doing it. So it's kind of funny how that works out.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's awesome having you back, and I do have your books here. I got Slash Dreams, The Ultimate Guide to Slasher Films, and I'm in the midst of reading that.
Cool.
And with my background going the way it is, it's hard to show it off here and make it show up, but I got that here. There you go. There you go. It's showing up here now. Yep. I got that, and I've got Slash Dreams Part 2. The Nightmare Continues.
Cool.
Yeah.
Out of the two of them, that's my favorite.
Is it?
Yeah. I'll admit on the first one, my views have changed on a lot of things, and I've come to appreciate a lot more. So I also grew as a writer. I felt like I can look at the second book, and I have no problems with the second book. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I felt like it's interesting. I have more reviews, more interviews, something like 50 interviews, I think. But yeah, that one was fun. And then my third book just came out this week, actually. So it's called Death in the Family, Life in the Business of Death. And it took me about maybe 6 months to write after I really buckled down on it. So I'm happy that one's out on the market right now. It was a lot of work.
What's that one about?
Growing up in the funeral business. So yeah, my dad's been a mortician since 1973. So it was very cool getting to make something like this for him and for my family. A lot of it's just memoirs, pretty much. It's got his stories, my mom's, my brother's stories, and I hope that people find it interesting. If they're looking for something that you know, explains the funeral business, you know, like, oh, here's how you do an autopsy, it's the wrong book for you, because it's just like his life story, pretty much.
Well, I see some of the names in the book there that for your interviews, and we've interviewed a lot of the same people too, and that's always been fun, you know. And but I wanted to know, are you still connected with Ellen Uti? Because I love her.
Yeah, I'm renting a room from her. So yeah, I would see her every day pretty much.
Oh, that's awesome. I love her, you know. Years ago, a few years ago, I had her on the show, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but she accepted the Doubtfire Face Challenge for suicide and depression awareness.
Ah, yes, I do remember you were telling me that.
Yeah. She said she'd do it again too. So
Very cool.
I think you two should do it together.
Maybe if you could get us together at the same time. It's usually we're both, so busy that it's just like always doing something, passing each other back and forth.
Yeah. No, she is so cool. I hope she does a convention here again soon, you know. I have not met her yet, but she did one of the horror-ramas one of the years before I started doing them. So I'm hoping to get to meet her at some point because I think she's awesome.
She is doing a signing here in Burbank next Saturday with some of the other people from My Bloody Valentine. I wish I could go, but I got my wrestling show that day, unfortunately.
Oh, you mean where the Iron Sheik puts you in the camel clutch and makes you humble?
Could be.
Oh man. So I'm enjoying your books. Now, here like you really dive deeps and in a lot of cases there too, not just what the classic sense of these movies, but what are some of the more obscure slasher films you discovered that you'd really want to point people towards?
Man, it's funny. It doesn't seem like much because, I mean, the last book was 2017 and the
Yeah.
one before was 2015. And I pointed that out a lot, that a lot of the movies that I covered then were very obscure. And a lot of times they were only available on VHS.
Uh-huh.
You fast forward a few years, that's not the case anymore. Like, you got companies like Vinegar Syndrome and Severin Films and places like that that are just purchasing these really obscure movies, and they're becoming available widely now, which I think is very cool that they have the love of that, and they're bringing a lot of these obscure movies to people's attention. And I know that some of the ones I covered back then, like for example, Body Count, which is Ruggero Deodato's attempt at a slasher film. He was the guy that made Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
Like The Final Terror, that was a good one. One of my favorite wilderness slasher films. And Rituals with Hal Holbrook. That was another one of my favorite wilderness ones. I really like how they did something different with it. It wasn't your average victims. It was for middle-aged, like doctors, and they were on a camping trip when they run across a slasher. But there's a lot of them like that. Killer Party, I will always recommend. Very underrated. And there's just a lot out there. A lot.
Yeah, I've got Killer Party on Blu-ray here.
Oh, very cool. I love Killer Party. I always have. It was one of those ones where I saw a little bit of it on TV when I was really young, and it became like one of those holy grails. Like I
Yeah.
searched for it everywhere, and then finally found a copy years later on VHS. That's like God bless Google, man, because it's helped me find so many movies. And one of the ones that I really remember from when I was growing up it was so hard to find for years, like 20 years, 30 years. And I didn't even know what movie it was. And then finally I figured it out. It's like a zombie kid on a skateboard. And then there's like a trucker who was trying to run our main actors off the road and kill them. And that was pretty much all I had to go on. And then I found out last year that it was a movie called From the Dead of Night. And and as far as like these obscure movies go, like I found that one, I found And the Sea Will Tell, a lot of different ones. And so that's very cool that they're readily accessible now.
You know, one that you reviewed that you gave a negative review to, and I saw it and I was like just hanging my head at it, but I interviewed two people from it, was Don't Go Into the Woods Alone.
You know, it's funny the effect that that movie has, especially on me.
I've interviewed a
Watching it,
husband and wife that was in
like,
that movie, and they're still together to this day, and I had a blast with them.
oh, well, sorry.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah. What were you saying about Don't Go in the Woods?
Yeah, I interviewed a couple of actors from it that were a husband and wife team, and
Really? What was her name?
oh jeepers, let me just a minute. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna find this because I'm gonna botch their names because I don't have them right up in front of me. But the guy was the bird watcher,
Oh, okay.
and the woman was the painter that was in had the kid.
Yeah, I remember both of those very well.
I just need to just a minute. I'll find them. You just give me a second. I got
Oh,
that
that's
up
okay.
here.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But
Well, I want to get their actual names on here because let me see. Cecilia Fannin, that was the female, and Jonathan Bliss. There you go. He was the bird watcher.
oh, okay, very cool.
Okay. Because I
Yeah.
did.
Are you there?
Yep. But
Okay.
nonetheless,
yeah.
they were great.
Well, as far as Don't Go in the Woods goes, like when I saw it when I was younger, I thought it was the worst movie I'd ever seen. But obviously, there's a lot worse out there. So it became probably my ultimate, guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
That I mean, I'll be scrolling through Tubi to this day, and I'll be, trying to figure out something to watch. I'm like, something I don't need to pay a lot of attention to, but something I really enjoy. Oh, there's Don't Go in the Woods. God, I must have seen that movie like 50 times, honestly. And, it's really not as bad as people think. And a lot of times they kind of knew what they were doing, where they knew that it was funny, they knew it was hokey, they knew it was a joke. They were very well aware of that. Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, Don't Go in the Woods. I'll still watch from time to time.
Yeah. Well, 2022 had a really good bunch of horror movies come out. I loved X and Pearl, Black Phone, Smile became the highest grossing of the bunch.
Yeah.
You have some really good stuff, and of course, this year we're going to have Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which I'm kind of looking forward to that. But And I'm
Oh
really
yeah, that looks
disappointed
good.
Mia Goth is not up for the Oscar for Pearl. She was so good in it, But what did you think of last year's horror film releases?
Well, I never saw X or Pearl, but I want to, so that's on my to-do list. But I thought Smile was okay. I thought Barbarian was okay. Neither one I thought was a really great movie, but they're entertaining.
I love
So that's
Barbarian. I had the Barbarian himself on the show. That was a male under all that makeup.
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So God, there were those ones, and I just saw Megan. That's this year, but Megan was a lot of fun. And well, it's not horror, but I think my favorite movie of the year was Violent Night for sure.
Oh, there you
But
go.
I still need to go watch Skin and Marines though. Um, everything I heard about it at first was just it's a horrible movie. It's not even really a movie. It's just a bunch of sequences and a lot of weird camera angles, things like that. But the more I look into it and read about it and the clips that I watch, um, it's having a weird effect on me because, like, when I go to my bedroom, like to get ready to go to bed, I turn off the hall lights. I'm looking behind me now, so it's like even going down the stairs. You look up at the top into the darkness, and then you're kind of wondering, is something there? So it's crazy that I haven't even seen the movie yet, and it's had that effect on me. So I'd say that in itself is a job well done, and I'm really looking forward to watching it and seeing how everything is pieced together. I've seen the clips, but I really want to watch the whole thing, and I already know what I'm getting into. So I'm like, okay, it could be slow, it could be kind of boring at parts, but there's a payoff, I guess. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Do you think you'll ever get to do a movie with Ellen Udy?
Who knows? Maybe, maybe one of these days I might. That would be really cool, actually.
I think my most anticipated this year right now is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. What do you think about this? Because they had the mean one come out with David Howard Thornton playing the Grinch and a slasher version of that. What do you think of these properties that are now public domain and they're making slasher versions of them?
Honestly, I think it's really weird, and that's saying a lot for me. It just seems really weird that they're doing things like that. Um, Especially like Winnie the Pooh. I can see the Grinch, definitely.
Oh, Winnie the
Uh,
Pooh! I've already done one interview from it, and I'm looking forward to seeing that movie. That's so twisted. And I guess they're doing something with Bambi as well.
oh, geez. Well, they already got Bambi versus Godzilla. But yeah, I mean, the mean one, I really want to watch the mean one. The jury is still out on the Winnie the Pooh one, though.
Oh, come on. That trailer looks great.
Yeah, maybe it might have to sell me a little bit better, but I'll probably still watch it anyways. There's a lot of different movies coming out this year, though, so that's pretty cool. Um, oh yeah, and of course, Halloween. Um,
Okay.
that one was interesting. Yeah.
w-
What were you
I
saying?
I liked it, but I gotta say, I wish they stuck with what they were originally going to do. All three movies, all one night. The third one ends at dawn, you know? And I had some issues with that third one. Um, I didn't hate it, but the same token, when they started this trilogy in the first place, I was like, why not let the events take place after the second movie? Because when you got all the chaos and the riots in Halloween Ends, it would make more sense if it happened after the first two movies, not after the first movie, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and
Especially since
I
parts
felt
1
kind of
and 2
the same.
flow so well into each other.
Yeah, and I felt kind of the same about it. That the fact that it jumps forward so many years, I thought that that was kind of a cheat right there, and I wasn't a fan of that. Um, Aside from that, the storyline, I knew what I was getting into before I watched it. So based off of that, I was able to enjoy it as much as I could. And still not the greatest by any means, but I appreciate that they were going in a new direction for it. Um, but yeah, I could see why some people really hate it. It makes perfect sense to me, but I'm not one of those people. I didn't completely hate it. I appreciated it.
Yeah. And of course, another film I'm looking forward to this year is Maxine with a triple X in the Maxine name. Yeah, you got X. Pearl is the prequel. Maxine is the sequel.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna let you in on something I hear nobody but me talk about. We got a final
That,
girl. We got a final girl in X who breaks every single rule that is brought up by Jamie Kennedy in X or in Scream.
uh-huh.
Yep, she does a line of cocaine. She gets nude. She has sex. Actually, she does pornographic sex because they're shooting a pornographic movie in it. She drinks. She does drugs. She does everything. And I'm sitting here thinking, and she's the one that survives. And I'm sitting here thinking, nobody has talked about that. And I'm like, I know the Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast did a thing last night about who could survive against Michael Myers in terms of other final girls, and I brought this person's name up. They never said anything, but it's kind of like, yeah, they, because they always say you can't do this and this and this if you want to survive. But I'm like, X kind of denied every rule Scream brought up, and that's one of the things I loved about X.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm really looking forward to watching both of those movies. Um, I've been looking for them on streaming, so I'll have to find them.
Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that. And I am going next this coming week to see the new Brandon Cronenberg movie, Infinity Pool. Of course, it's got Mia Goth in it, and she is awesome, So looking forward to
Very
that.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So what else is coming up
Like I
for
said,
you?
I think well, the third book is out there on Amazon right now. Just
Hmm.
look at Ronnie Angel and you'll find it. And so I'm going to start like appearances, promoting it as much as I can, like starting in springtime. And I know that I just agreed to a movie, and looking at the shooting schedule, it seems like it's going to be a lot of hours and a lot of days.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that, though.
There we go. We got cut off here. We'll see. Gotta press pause here. There we are. We're back. I just pressed pause. Gotta get your. Oh, gee, he's not got his microphone on. Trying to get his attention on that. There you go.
There we go.
What happened?
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue. But we're
But
back on.
yeah, but you were mentioning stuff you got coming up. You got this movie. Who's involved in that?
Well, I can't really say right now, but it's not a horror movie though. It's an action movie, so that's pretty cool. All I know is that I play a really really bad guy. Like out of a bunch of villains, apparently I'm the worst out of them all. So that's gonna be fun to play that.
Okay. Okay.
And then I'm working on the fourth book right now,
What's your fourth book
and
gonna be?
it's called Blood in the Orchards, and it's gonna be a book compiling different stories from my old hometown in Washington. And there's a lot of stories to tell too. A lot of them are like legends in the town, but nobody talks about it. Like you will not find them on a Google search or anything. You just gotta get out there, talk to the locals, and they all have stories. So that's gonna be fun. And then I'm gonna be writing my friend Travis McKenna's autobiography. So he's got a lot of cool stories to tell too. So yeah, I'm working on the two books, acting as much as I can. I'm gonna start making appearances, conventions, things like that, starting in probably in March. So I have a little bit of time, and hopefully, me and a couple of partners will be finally making my first horror movie. The one that I wrote, and I took it from a 30-minute short into a full-length film.
Nice. So, do you have any ideas of who you're going to approach for it to have in it? You're breaking up here. Yeah, you're breaking up. Yeah, you broke up. We got to go over that. What was that? Because you're frozen on the screen right now. Okay, folks, we got to pause this again. Not the best connection. I don't know whether that's because he's driving. Here he's coming back here right now.
All
Let's
right,
see.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I've been sitting in the same spot this whole time.
Oh,
I don't know why. So yeah, you were asking me about the movie that I'm doing, the
yeah.
one that I wrote. Yeah. The thing is, there's only two actors in the entire movie. Actually, three, if you count for the monster in it. But yeah, two actors, one location, one. Yeah, I threw everything in there. Like
Is it going to
every.
be you and Ellen Udy?
Nah, nothing like that. I don't think that we could pass as high schoolers. So
Yes, you could. Oh, you maybe not. She could. Yes, she could.
but yeah, it's only two guys in the movie, and the way I wrote it, it's like old school horror. It's not
Nice.
gonna have like cliches. It's not gonna have stereotypes. It's only gonna have a little bit of comedy. But that's what I want. I want old school horror. As far as when some of the movies that I've written so far, some of the screenplays I've written, I don't want stereotypes. I don't want cliches. And I really want to make something that is going to scare the crap out of people. Like that's my goal. Which is
Well,
how it
you know
should be,
what?
right?
The best way to go. That's the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ronnie, I am you're my second interview today, and I I'm probably be about as tired as you are right now, but I know with you being in your vehicle, I know that you've got places to go and people to see, and
That's right,
but
but I still make time for everybody.
yeah, you did. You made time, and I love your books, I gotta say, I'm enjoying these, and with me working at the hospital, and between hospital and sleep and occasionally getting to do this, get groceries and maybe go to a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't get a lot of reading in, but I am midway through that first book. I haven't started the second one yet, but you know what? It gives me something to look forward to. So,
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad you like them. And if you get a chance, or if anybody out there gets a chance, look up "Death in the Family"
uh-huh.
by Ronnie Angel. It's on Amazon right now. It's live. So yeah, you can find my third book online. And like I said, I'm gonna start making appearances starting in March.
All right. Well, I'm going to see what I can do about getting you located at a table right next to the Iron Sheik.
All right,
You,
go
you-
for it, man.
Listen, if you're a wrestler, a true wrestler has been humbled by the Iron Sheik. You need to
Maybe
be put.
so.
You need to be put in the camel clutch.
Well, maybe it'll happen someday.
And while he has you in the camel clutch, Terry Funk will come at you with a barbed wire bat. What do you think? What do you think? Will that toughen you up?
Sounds good.
Ronnie, it's great. We're both connected to that James Balsamo family now, and
Definitely.
yeah, I still follow what you're doing online, and it's great to see you're still out there and still busy. And I hope to see you at a convention near me here at some point. I did two last year. Um, I assisted Lisa Langwa at a second one, which was fun, and I look forward to doing more. I just am in the midst of doing my passport up now, in case
Very
Lisa does
cool.
some cons in the States. So there you go.
Very cool, man.
Yeah. But
Maybe I'll
anyway,
see you
before
at one.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, before I let you go, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Sure. Yeah, yeah. This
Just state
is
your just state your name and say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
all right. All right. This is Ronnie Angel, pro wrestler, author, actor, and you are listening to Python's Paradise with Greg Gilbert. Stay cool,
Absolutely,
everyone.
folks. Yeah. We look forward to that movie. It sounds like it's going to be good. And of course, folks, check out his books. We got Slash Dreams, the ultimate guide to slasher films. And we have Dreams Part 2, The Nightmare Continues. You got a lot of talks about movies, a lot of interviews in there as well. And of course, he's got a couple more books coming out here in the very, very shortly as well. And of course, check him out in the ring as well if you get a chance. And of course, say hello to him at a convention. Ronnie Angel, you take care. You have yourself a great day, and
You
stay safe,
too.
man.
You too, man. Thank you again for having me.
No problem, man. God bless you.
You too. Thanks, bro. I'll
Yep,
talk to you later.
absolutely. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.